we'll talk after this.
Okay.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you for tuning in to a very special show today that I am hosting with the CEO and executive producer of Busy Girl Productions, Miss Belinda Baker. Good evening, Belinda. How are you?
Hey, I'm fine. How you doing?
I'm excited. This is one of our first interviews, our first shows, and this is a major step for the two of us.
Exactly. I'm just really excited about all this. The anticipation is what gets to you.
Yes. But let me just ask you, Belinda, what was the inspiration for you to start Busy Girl Productions?
Um, I always, for the last few years, have been in the entertainment and wanting to do something, and I like to produce. I like to, if I see something, I hear it, I like it, I'll shoot it. And that's why I want to do it. And plus, it's for women, it's for us, and we're constantly busy. So that's why I named it Busy Girls, because we're females, we're girls, and we're busy all the time. So why not be busy girls in the production?
Yes, but you're always busy. Why add one more thing to your plate?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because she loves me.
Well, since the love is in the room, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest today, who we're going to find more about, not only her story, but what she has going on. The star of the reality television show, Diva Glammas, Miss Queenie Turner. Welcome, Queen. How are you?
I'm fantastic in yourselves.
I'm excited. That's all I can say is that I'm excited to have you here.
So am I. So am I. And my hats off to you and Belinda for taking on such a project, because you girls had faith in me. And yeah, so I'm ecstatic.
We are ecstatic as well. But one of the things that I love about you is that you are a person who never gives up. This wasn't something that just happened in 2020, 2019. You've been working on this passion project, I would say, for some time. Why is it so important to you?
Well, I started the project in 2013, and you know, coming into this business, I got a little discouraged because things weren't happening as fast as I wanted them to, not knowing I've been so spoiled in this business until everything was pretty much always laid out for me. But this one, my own project, I had to work so hard for it. So now it's all coming together, and like I said, I'm ecstatic. I'm happy.
Yeah, so you started this, you said in 2013?
Yes.
Okay, so it's gone through several lifetimes, several transitions since then. What are you happy about with Diva Glammas right now, currently?
Well, for one thing, I like because it's an all-female production.
Hmm.
Basic, pretty much. Predominantly female. Yeah, we do have some males and some fine ones at that. But Brian, that's the shout out to you. But yeah, I'm feeling real good because the reputation I know that Belinda has and the skills that I know you have, I know you girls can get the job done.
Hmm. Yes, so we can talk about the production, but I just want to focus on the passion, because right now we have a lot of people in the chat room. For anyone who's tuning in live to the show, if you want to send Queen some love, if you have questions, if you have comments, either about the show, either about Busy Girl Productions, please feel free to ask. But Queen, there are people who are tuning in. Many may have been looking for you, wondering what you were doing, what you've been up to. So what are some of the updates that you have for our audience?
Well, I mean, I stay busy. I have a clothing store here in Palmdale, me and the Classy Diva. And, we've been closed down most of the year because of the pandemic. And so she decided she wanted to open back up maybe a month ago. And we may be on the verge of getting closed down again. And I was also working on this book called I Am My Sister's Keeper, with Talicia, and it's, 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 it's 14 authors in that book, and I have a chapter. So I want everybody, when that hits the market, everybody buy. And because you get a snippet of my life, and then when I come behind it with my autobiography, Queen of the Crop, then yeah, it's some good read.
Well, I definitely want to check out Queen of the Crop. Definitely want to check out this book. But what can we see in Diva Glammas? I think that's what people are tuning in. What are Diva Glammas? What is this?
Well, Diva Glammas is your modern day grandmothers. Okay. We age up. My motto is we age up, but we don't age out. And I think I came to realize that when I would tell people how many grandchildren I have, 20 grands, 13 great grands, and they would be like, oh my God, you don't look it. And I'm like, well, I sure feel it, you know. So I just said, okay, I want to do something for the women such as myself and my friends that you know, you don't have to give up after 50. There's still life left in you, you know, and most women I know now are independent women. So, and they have their businesses. So I just said, well, hey, I want to do something for the everyday working girl that wants to get somewhere in life and not depending on a man to see her get there.
Mhm. One of the things you mentioned is you looking like a grandma. So I would ask the question, what does a grandma look like? Because like you said, we used to have this idea that it was you were in that rocking chair, you were sitting there all day. But what does that look like, Queen?
Well, see, I grew up under my grandmother's tutelage. You know, my grandmother was living with us and she was raising all of my siblings and my mom and dad too, you might as well say, because she was a good country grandmother, Annie Mae Turner. And I know how she dressed. She dressed up on Sundays. She put on her little pillbox hat and had a little purse and her gloves and would drag me to church with my heels sparking because I didn't want to go. But and through the week, grandma had on her stockings that would be down around her ankles, her house dress, her muumuu as I used to call it, her hair in a braid, and that was that. She and my grandfather were divorced. I never saw her date. You know, she just took care of her grandkids. And I loved her dearly for it, but I knew I wasn't going to be like that.
Mhm. So what did you decide you wanted to be then?
Well, I decided I wanted to be a glamorous grandmother.
So
I
your
love to.
grandmother wasn't glamorous and glamorous?
No, no, no. Don't get me wrong. My grandmother was a pretty woman. I think she was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But my whole thing is I didn't want to dress like that. If
Mm-hmm.
I'd have told my grandmother to put on some of the stuff that I wear now at her age, she'd have probably ran me out of town. You know, so it was like she wasn't, yeah, she wasn't gonna do all that. See, I could put on a pair of booty shorts, but I'm not. But I'm just saying, I would feel comfortable in a pair of booty shorts. My grandmother would have never.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 1993, when I first started having a lot of my grandkids that they're grown now, we had a family reunion, and my father, Posey Turner, he came up to me. I had on some Daisy Dukes, and he said, "Oh, look at you, grandma. Look at you." I said, "But don't you wish your grandmother had a look like this?" Because see, I remember my father's grandmother too. She didn't look like that. So I was like, "Hey, I may be a grandma, but I'm sure not gonna look it."
Yes, yes. So is that what you want people to take away from the show, that they too don't have to sit in this rocking chair? There's more than just, the senior citizen home.
Yes, of course. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, don't just like throw your hands up in the air and throw them down like you just don't care. You wave them high like you care. That's how, I mean, that's how we do it. You know, we
Mhm.
make it do what it do. So I just, you know, I had some friends and I just, you know, they were feeling the same way. They just didn't have enough guts to say it. So I
Mhm.
said, well, okay, I want you, I want you, I want you to come on board with me and we're gonna make this work. So voila, here
Yes.
we are.
Yes, but you have courage. And you're never afraid to say anything. Whatever's on your mind, you just say it.
Oh yeah, I you know, hey, a closed mouth never get fed. And and a quiet one, you know, people will take advantage of you. I've been on my own since I was 14 years old,
Wow.
living and
14.
working for my own self with children. So I have had to take on the responsibility. I've been an adult for a long time. I guess that's why I feel so much older than what I do, but thank God I don't look it.
But you look amazing. You look beautiful. No, just on the opposite side, because we love to be positive. We love to give the diva grandmas and grandmas something to aspire to. But what do you say to the people who say there's just too much drama? This person doesn't like that person. This person doesn't get along with that person. It is drama, Queen.
Well, strong women, you're gonna have that. You know,
Mhm.
you're gonna have you're gonna have some turmoil. It's no way around it because everybody is mature. Everybody have their, well, some of them. I'm gonna say everybody doesn't, you know, they don't gel together. Everybody's got their own thoughts and their own ideas. But those that do like one another, we get along perfectly. So my whole thing is I tell them we can all be friends at the end of the day. No bickering, no fighting. Well, I take that back. Yeah, yeah, I take that back. Yeah, some of them just want to strangle each other to keep it all the way 100. They do, and sometimes I want to strangle them all. But it's a sisterhood, and just like with your own biological sisters, you do not get along with everybody all the time. So
Mhm.
that's just how it is.
But it's something that has, like you said, you have to develop over time. So these aren't women that you just met 2018, 2019. Many of them you've known for 40 years.
Oh yeah, some of them heifers I've known since my Soul Train days. For
Mhm.
all of you that didn't know, I was a Soul Train dancer back in the '70s, and I have four of my Soul Train sisters in the Diva Glammas. So yeah, we some of us go way back like babies and pacifiers, and we just yeah we just we've been knowing each other a long time, and we have our good days, we have our bad days, but yeah, for the most part, yeah, they've been my girls over the years.
So you were a soul train dancer. How did you become a soul train dancer?
Well, long story short, I left Memphis with Isaac Hayes, and he knew Don Cornelius. Don Cornelius, Isaac called him and told him I was coming to town, and Don gave me a job,
Mhm.
and the rest is history. I never had to audition for Soul Train or whatever. So, but yeah, but it, like I said, it was an exciting time. And to know that you're being seen all over the world dancing, that's, that's something to feel proud about.
How long did you dance on Soul Train?
I danced from 73 to 70, the early 79. And then I left and I went and moved to Canada, for a while. I was back and forth between the United States and Canada, and and then touring in Japan, and Australia, and a few other places. Yeah, I enjoyed myself. I had a good
Oh,
time.
oh, that is
I didn't
wonderful.
let no grass grow up under my feet. How about that?
Do you ever? Do you ever? Guess not. Okay, so while we're talking to Queen, we have more questions, but I just want to thank a couple of people for tuning in to the show. Latoya Gant says, "Hey Queen." Renetta Davis says, "Okay Queen." Jackie Morris says, "Looking good, girl." Elizabeth Camillo says, "Looking good, sister." And Rhonda Robinson says, "Yes," but Rhonda Robinson wants to know, how was it on Soul Train?
Hey, it was great. I mean, you got to meet a lot of people that you would never ever that you only dreamed about seeing, you
Mhm.
know. And so you got to hang out and party with a lot of people, and some of those people we're still friends with till this day. So, it was just like I said, it was a good time. It was a good
Mhm.
time. Um, some of the dancers went on still to do other professional things in the industry. Some of them went on to different careers. Like one of the divas that was my Soul Train sister. She became an airline stewardess, and Diana Sassy, she went on to modeling. So everybody had their dreams and their goals, and they got a chance to pursue
Hmm. So I can just imagine, right? I was a huge Soul Train fan, but also growing up, I used to watch Fame, and I also used to dream of, being the singer, dancer out there doing all those things. So it must have been an experience to be on Soul Train, and then you have to ask yourself, okay, what will top that? Did you ever ask yourself that question? How do you top Soul Train?
Well, I think I topped Soul Train. I mean, Isaac Hayes and Isaac Hayes Movement and Hot Buttered Soul, they were my family. They looked out for me, they took care of me. So I figured that was a phenomenal time in my life also. And like I said, I wouldn't have met Don Cornelius had it have not been for Isaac Hayes.
Hmm. Now, Elizabeth Camillo would like to know, can you still rock it?
Oh, I drop it like it's hot and pick it up like it's cold, boo boo. Thought you knew.
But we are having a wonderful time. The questions, the comments, the love are pouring in. We have so many people that are tuning in with some amazing questions. If you have a question or a comment, we are speaking with the star of the reality show, Diva Glammas, Miss Queen Turner. So we have another question for you from Rhonda Robinson. Rhonda would like to know, with your clothing store, do you cater to plus size women?
Yes, we do. We definitely do. I'm a plus size. Look at me. So yeah, we do. But I mean, of course, we have a lot of small stuff, but we do. I do make sure that Liz and I carry plus sizes, for the big, thick, beautiful women,
Hmm.
because everybody's not a size two.
Hmm. And not everyone is forever 21.
This is true.
So we need a place where we could go. I know I'm not forever 21. So again, we got all the questions pouring in. So Ernessa Tracy Moore would like to know if the Queen Diva still has some of those funky Soul Train moves now as a Diva Glamour. So again, people want to know, Queen. They want to know. They want to know about you dropping it like it's hot, picking it back up.
Yes, well, to answer Ernesta's question, yes, I still get my boogie on wherever I go. That's what I'm known best for. If you want to have a party, you call the Queen Diva. I show up and I show out. The
Now,
party don't start till I get there. How about that?
okay, so when's the party? That's what I want. When's the party? I need to come to this party.
Well, if we can ever get rid of COVID, because she's not my friend, Corona, she's not my friend. So whenever we can get rid of them, then hey, we can go back to dropping it like it's hot and picking it up like it's cold.
A queen, I love what I do. Let me just say this. I love my life. You ever just wake up and you have one of those moments, you like, life is good?
Oh
Well,
yeah,
I just had a question and I'm reading the question and I'm like, should I even ask this question? Queen, should I ask the question?
yeah. Go on. This is an open book.
There's a Jackie Morris who would like to know why he was never able to convince you to be Mrs. Morris.
Jackie is my first husband. He's crazy. We were married. We have a daughter together. We have a 49-year-old daughter together. He wants to get remarried. Not now. Not now. He's crazy. Go to bed, Jackie. You know it's past your bedtime.
You can't make this stuff up, Queen. This is love. And you got the first husband. So that must mean there was like at least a second, third husband somewhere in here.
Oh yeah, I'm on my 10th husband.
10th,
Yes, 10.
as in 10.
1-0. Now,
Okay.
I didn't say I was proud, but I married most of my boyfriends. So that just happened like that. See, I never wanted to uh, live in a house with a man, and I had kids. So I was trying to set a good example for them, but I was so glad when they got grown. So I would have had to set no more good examples. Yeah,
Laughing
but
because I can relate. My kids are 23 and 26. So I'm like, yes, we finally got to that age where everybody's going to be okay.
yes, well, like I said, I got some old kids. I got kids older than you, and so and they're still my babies. And yeah, yeah, Jackie would know his daughter. She's down there in Texas with him. She's 49 and she's one of the biggest babies I know.
But Queen, is this something we're going to learn when we watch and tune in to Diva Glammas? Because you got the men showing up during the interview to propose to you. How do you do that? How do you get all these proposals? Because what the women say, or what I've heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, they say you can't get a man, that there are 13 women for every man. And you're like, I've had 10 husbands.
Well, I've proved the theory that the way to a man's heart is to his stomach, and due to the fact that I don't cook, you know that wasn't it. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, Shantae, Shantae.
Okay, but Queen, okay. You know what? I need some grandkid is around somewhere. I need to talk to one of your grandchildren now, because do your grandkids ever say to you like or they probably don't say grandma, but grandma, calm down, stop dancing. Do they ever try to dim your light a little?
Listen, my grandkids get so ashamed of me. They just look, because see, I know all the latest dances. I know all the latest moves. So if they're with me in a crowd and I'm dancing, I see them over in the corner putting their hands over their eyes, shaking their head, and then some of them even come on the dance floor and try to pull me off. And I'm like, if you don't get your $5 behind somewhere and sit down before I make change, yes, no, they're not gonna. No, they're not gonna stop. They're not gonna stop my thing. No, they're not. But yeah, they do. They get embarrassed. But see, none of them can top me. That's the
Ooh,
whole thing. They don't have that. They don't have that je ne sais quoi about them. My grandkids are squares. Okay,
I
they
hope
didn't
none
say,
of them are watching.
huh?
I said, I hope none of them are watching.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they are. But hey, they know I'm telling the truth. I'm that girl. I'm that grandma.
It
Well,
did, it did.
not to cut you off, but when I married my 10th husband, I had twin grandsons, and they're both one has a doctorate, the other one is working on his doctorate, and the one gave me he has two kids. He gave me a long talking to saying, "Grandma, I don't you haven't been knowing him long enough and to get married, and I don't think you should get married." I said, "Well, I didn't think you should have had two kids before you graduated from college, but you did." And I'm just like, how dare him? But then I had to respect what he said. And so, like I said, I do take their advice, I do listen to them, and I try to give them good advice. So makes everybody happy.
But being a star of a show, Queen, do you ever feel pressure? Do you ever feel that you have to live your life in a certain way because you know that other people are following and watching you?
Well, Sharifah, I stopped worrying about what people thought about me many years ago. Hey, either you like me or you don't. I'm not one of those people that I can take or leave her. Either you like me or you don't. So I can't. You can't please everybody. You can please some of the people some of the time, but you can't please some of the people all of the time. So I'm a person like this. I realize everybody's not gonna like me, but as long as the majority love me, I'm good.
That is so true, because I love you, even though I still get a little nervous because you got that line where you're like, don't let that Turner side of the family come out of me. So I'm like, oh, let me be careful. I got to be Queen's friend.
No, it's not that bad, Sharif. I'm a good girl.
Mhm, mhm. I believe you. I believe you. We are having such a great conversation with Queen Turner, the star of Diva Glammas. If you are just now tuning in, please go ahead and share the show with your friends, because they need to watch this show as well and get an idea of what we have for them from Busy Girl Productions with Diva Glammas. I just want to thank a few more people for tuning in to the show. Want to say good welcome to Diane Dots. Latanya Gant is here. So many people are tuning into the show. If you have a question or a comment for Queen, please feel free to ask. And everybody's just saying that part, go Queen, Queen Diva. all the love is in the room. Now let's talk about we talked a little bit about you, your history, the Soul Train, but I want to spend the next kind of few minutes talking about the Diva Glammas, the team, the women that you have around you. So what we're going to do next week when everyone tunes in is we're going to bring all the Diva Glammas here and we're going to have a conversation. So tell us a
That
little bit
should be
about,
interesting.
no, that's going to be fun. I'm going to be hitting that mute button a lot. Mute, mute, mute.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because some of them do have potty mouths. Yeah. So, and we do have a jar that they have to drop change in every time they have a potty mouth. So, yeah,
Yes,
I
yes.
have my jar ready.
Yes, but it's growing, right? So the diva, tell us a little bit about the Diva Glammas. Who's with you now on this show?
Well, I have several divas. Some are friends of the show. Some are main characters who you'll see all all the time. And I give them all names according to their personalities. And you know, I don't want to say I don't want to say now what I call them. I've given them names, but that's usually not what I call them when they get on my nerve. But yeah, but they're like I said, they are my friends. I'm not saying we don't have our falling outs because I would be lying if I said we get along every step of the way. No, we don't.
Mhm.
Like I said, and when you get a bunch of old biddies together, and everybody thinks that they're a diva, it's hard to contain, you know, those pheromones. It's hard. It's hard.
Okay, but Queen, how do you know you're not a biddy and you're actually a diva?
Well, like I said, my girls are divas. That's why I chose them. I call them old biddies, but really they're divas, and they have no problem with letting you know that
Mhm,
they are definitely what their name represents. So
mhm.
I have like Classy. She's my business partner. She's from East Africa, and she's she's classy, but she can be ghetto too. And then I have
But
Baby
before you
Diva.
go on, let's go back to Classy because you said Classy was your business partner,
Yes.
Classy, and you run the store as well. So how did you and Classy meet?
Well, we both worship together,
Mhm.
and we became friends. And I noticed she was always doing something. And she's a little bitty thing, and she talks like this, but she's feisty, and that's what I loved about her. She was always ready to have a new adventure jumping off. And sometimes she would be telling me about the things she's doing, and I would get so exhausted I'd have to come home and take a nap. That's how busy she is. So I so like I said, she can be classy and ghetto when she wants to. And most people don't realize she's African, but she is.
Mhm.
And like I said, then you got Baby Diva. She was my youngest diva. That's why I gave her the name Baby Diva. She came up under me, and I like taking young girls and making real women out of them, giving them that attitude and that pizzazz and that snazz. Yeah. So, and audacious, sassy. Sassy is one of my Soul Train sisters. Wholesome's one of my Soul Train sisters. Fashionista is my
You name
Soul
it,
Train
you
sister.
naming all. I didn't mean to cut you off, Queen, but you're going naming all these all of them really quickly. I want to kind of touch a little bit so we
Oh,
can
okay.
bring them to life. But I want to go back to Sassy. When I watch the clips, I watch the show, it seems that there's a lot of friction with Sassy.
Yeah. Uh, Sassy. Sassy is yeah, she's lost her mind. I'm so sure about it. But I love her anyway. She's the sassy one, but like I said, she's a little cray cray too.
I
Yeah.
mean, but don't you need Cray Cray for a show though? I mean, that's the thing to me. It's like you
Well,
don't.
that's why I hold on to her dearly because oh boy, we're gonna rock and roll with her for sure.
Yes, yes. But then you also have Denise White, Barry White's daughter, on the show as well.
Yes, yes, I do. Denise is a sweetheart, but she's got that BW in her dad. And like
Mhm.
I said, you'll see her one minute and she's a sweet Denise, and the next minute she's very white. So because he was a no nonsense person, and she roars just like her dad. She can roar. So she and some of the girls, they bump heads from time to time, but I mean, for the most part, hey, that's what we do.
Yes, so that was sassy, but then you talk about bumping heads. Sometimes you have fashionista who always focus on fashion, and maybe everyone's fashion isn't up to par in fashionista's mind.
Yeah, that's Lisa, fashionista. She's very fashionable. She's very stylish. Um, that's why she took to me, because you know I ain't no slouch either. I gets my dress on when I have to, but yeah, she likes to wear a lot of fashions and way out clothes and everything. So that's why I named her the fashionista. And if you don't dress like her, something's wrong. You know,
Mhm,
so she yeah. But I'm telling you, they all have a little crazy in them.
mhm.
That's
Don't
why
all
everybody has
women
to
do.
tune in to see the crazy.
The women, they're all women. Are there any men on this show?
No, no more than the ones that hell, half the time I don't know who has a boyfriend and who doesn't. So I can't keep up if they have boyfriends or men. So everybody's looking for love in all the wrong places. I told them about that rock over there in the corner. Leave it alone. But they, like Sassy, her preference is Caucasian men. I don't have a problem with that, but hey, I, that's her thing.
Mhm.
And but mostly, come to think of it, mostly everybody. Liz, classy. She recently got a divorce last year, and we had a big celebration. And yeah, so everybody's like I
So
said,
everybody's basically single.
yeah, and they don't. No man, what man do you know? What's what's a crazy over 50 maniac?
You just killed all my dreams and all my hopes with one look, Queen. Like all my hopes of finding a man or getting a man or keeping a man just went
Hey,
out the
look.
window. It's like no, no, you got all the husbands and you got all 10 of their husbands. Like they have none, you have 10. That doesn't
I
seem
tried
fair.
to I tried to give them away. I have enough to shell out to all of them, but I can't bring those back that are deceased. So hey, and that's just the way it is.
What about tell us about Bodacious?
Bodacious, love her dearly, but this child has never met a camera or a mirror she didn't like. We can be on a photo shoot, filming, whatever. She's in a corner taking her own pictures. Will never be anywhere on time. It's not in her. But you know what? I told her I'm gonna beat her behind to the rope like okra if she don't start showing up on time, being prompt, and stay away from the camera. Oh, it's detrimental to her. I'm telling you. Because once she gets started, it said, Bo, we ready to take pictures. She over there just snapping them of herself. She's just posing and twisting. Yeah, hot mess.
How do you come up with all these little quotes and these little ditties? Like you have an expression for everything.
Yeah, I told you I was raised by my grandmother. I was raised by my grandmother and which is my dad's mom, my maternal grandmother, and she had so many quotes to her oldest daughter, my dad's oldest sister. She's 98, and she just recently wrote a little book with all the quotes that my grandmother had of them. Now she's 98 and can remember all of the quotes. When she sent me the booklet, I was like, oh my God, she can still remember. And it just took me right back to my childhood when my grandmother used to quote all that stuff. So yeah.
What was your favorite? What's the favorite one she used to say?
Oh, let's see. Um, a heap sees, but a few knows. Meaning a lot of people see, but a lot of people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
See, a lot of people see my glory, but they don't know my story, you know? And so that's yeah, that was one of my favorites she used to say.
Wow, I want to go a little bit more into your story in a minute because that's what we want to learn. We want to learn your story, but I just want to make sure we mention all of the divas. There's Southern Diva, who, Southern women are known for all their great expressions and quotes.
Oh yeah, Southern Diva is one of my Soul Train sisters too, and she's my diva because I just love to hear her talk. That she has that New Orleans twang, so I love to hear her talk. And when she gets riled up, you can't understand a word she's saying, but when them arms get to flying and flapping, you know she means business.
Yes, yes. So you have, who else do we need to mention? Carol Creekmore. Who else do we have?
She's the Soul Train sister. She's wholesome, you know, and she's a dingbat, but
Can
she
you
has.
say that on air? The people are watching. She might be watching. You might hurt her
I'm
feelings.
sure she is, but hey, I say this to their face. So I mean, I'm not one. Look, I'm being real nice. If just calling her a dingbat, okay, But I love her dearly. But she's my Soul Train sister. But she's just so, oh, oh, yeah. She's always trying to be the peacemaker, and she causes more disturbance than making peace. How about that?
How
So.
about that? How about
Yeah.
that? Interesting. So while you were mentioning your story, somehow everybody just started shouting out where they are. So Phyllis Dorsey Newen, is that it? Says, "Hey
Uh-huh.
Queen, your homegirl is watching from Maryland." And
Yes.
then you had Pauline Lopes, who said she is in West Africa, Cape Verde Islands in West Africa. So she's tuning in to support you. Rhonda Robinson says Carol is really cookies. Love her.
Cookies and cream.
What is cookies and cream? Are we supposed to be sharing this and discussing all of
Yeah,
this?
yeah. Rhonda called her. I call her dingbat. Rhonda calls her cookies and cream. Yeah, because she just said milk and cookies, milk and cookies.
Oh my God. So when we watch Diva Glammas, we're going to see all of this interaction. We're going to see you interacting with the ladies and with everyone.
Oh yeah. Sometimes you may have to turn your TV off and turn it right back on because it can get real crazy.
Mhm.
It gets real crazy. But yeah, but like I said, for the most part, I I try to get along with all of them. They don't try to get along with each other. Some of them,
Mhm.
um, some of them have a problem with Denise because she's Barry White's daughter. She grew up in royalty. You know, um, you know. So it's just like I
But do you
said.
think that is just because she grew up in royalty and because she is Barry White's daughter? I mean, she seems to have a different energy, a different vibe to her.
Oh yeah, she does. She does. She doesn't let that go to her head because she has a story to tell too about her and her dad's relationship. So she'll be giving everyone her version on that. So, but she is definitely his child, just like I am definitely Posey Turner's child and Ike Turner's cousin. So hey, that there you have it.
Yes, yes. Now, what would you say, Queen, to people who would say that if they watch the show, that grandmothers should not be acting this way?
Well, excuse you, we're still human. Yeah, we're we're still human, so just because you get old don't mean you don't get pissed the hell off,
Mhm.
at times. So hey, that's just the way it is.
Okay, but I mean, many of you, like we talked about, Rhonda Robinson says she's single, ready to mingle. Maybe people feel that you should do a little less mingling and a little less, maybe, I don't know, knitting. I don't know what grandmas do.
Oh no, boo, nobody that. And Rhonda,
Nobody knits.
Rhonda's a baby diva is really not gonna do it in it. No, but see, I've told her unless he's right, hey, he can keep it pushing because she don't need no dead weight. Mm-mm.
Mhm,
When
mhm.
you when women have children, you do not need to take on another child. And sometimes they come in the form of grown men that have not been raised properly. So it's just like I tell the females about my son. My son is spoiled rotten. I didn't do it. The other people did it, but now I let his girlfriends know. Anybody that he brings to meet me, if I was you, I wouldn't do it. He makes me sick and I'm his mama. So why would I put him on somebody else to get on their nerves?
You tell the women this, Queen?
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, there's no cut cards.
You are unique. So how many grandchildren do you have?
I have 20 grandchildren and 13 great grandchildren.
Wow. 20
Yeah,
grandchildren.
and some of the grandchildren, like I said, the 13 great grands, they have spawned. So, I just got, you know, I just got grandchildren that have made mini me's of themselves, and I'm like, oh my God, they just, but I love them dearly. They're all special.
Two questions for you, Queen. What is it that you want the Diva Glammas themselves to take away from this experience? And what do you want the audience to take away from Diva Glammas?
Well, again, to know that women, just because you age up don't mean you age out. You don't have to throw your life away and, like I said, grab a rocking chair and get to knitting. Because if you get too comfortable doing that, now is the time. Most women our age are empty nesting, and they're finding themselves all over again. When you put in years of raising children, and now your children are having children, you give them the little grandmother time, but you want to remain and have yourself. You want to keep yourself. So you just can't, you just don't throw your life away because now you're not raising anybody. And don't let your kids put the grandkids off on you, by no means. You babysit when you want to babysit. So this is what I want women to know. They don't have to just throw their life in the trash because they've had a few kids, now they have grandkids. And because I do know some women that just sit home and babysit their grandkids, and their kids are out partying. Oh no, honey. Let me tell you, I had my daughter-in-law wanted me to babysit one time, and I was getting ready to go out to a red carpet function. She rang my doorbell. And when I opened the door, I didn't know she was coming. When I opened the door, she threw the baby at me. Thank God the baby is now 27 years old. But she threw the baby at me, almost dropped the baby, and ran down the sidewalk and jumped in her car. But see, never underestimate the power of a queen. Because when I got dressed, I got right in my car and dropped the baby right back off at her mama's house. How about that? I told her I had an engagement to attend. I am not the one.
How does someone just do that? Just drop a child off with no.
Because they like I said, I had aged up, but I hadn't aged out. See, they thought, I was gonna be one of them kind of grandmamas. How you gonna be that kind of grandmama when you still around here wearing booty shorts and I'm just kidding. I wouldn't wear no booty shorts, but anyway, I mean, I just no, I wasn't having it because I still had a life. I still had a life.
What do you want the Diva Glammas, the other ladies, to take away from this experience? Because I know they're honored to be a part of it, because you brought everyone in. I mean, to the point where you couldn't turn anyone down. You were like, just be a friend. You want to bring everybody in, but what do you want them to get out of it?
Well, I want them to be able to be independent women. Like I said, independent, mature women. That's basically what I want them to take away from this. And if they luck up and find a piece of a man, hey, so be it. But I want them to be able to know that, again, you don't need a man to validate you. That's why I teach young girls, you can do this by yourself. You do not need a man to validate you. That's why I've had so many husbands, because next one don't act right, next just check them off the list. That's how you have to do it.
Queen, see, the people gonna tune in to Diva Glammas, and then they gonna be like, I'm gonna do it by myself, gonna make the men angry, because they gonna have people like Jackie over trying to propose to them, and they gonna say no, because Queen said I can do it by myself. Queen?
Look, tell Jackie get off the phone, because he already owed me some money. So don't play. He's in my debt right now, so tell him don't play. Tell him just sit down, boo boo.
But what about the women who are looking for love? They want to get married. They want to find the man of their dreams, but they tune into Diva Glammas and you're like, don't get that piece of man.
Look, you ever heard the OJ song and Walter Williams be singing, "Don't do it, don't do it." That's what I was. That's what I tell them. Don't do it. Yeah, you do not. No. Because see, men don't come like they used to. They're so full of it and so far few and in between. So I mean, I was always looking for my father in a husband. I could never find it. So that's why I married so many times. And then when I realized after about 1,000 sessions with a psychiatrist, I realized that I wasn't going to find a man that's going to take care of his family like my dad did. Then I made peace with myself and said, okay, I'm going to be like my dad, but I'm just going to be the female version.
Mhm. No, I can completely relate because I say that as well. My dad messed me up as far as what my expectations are. My dad always takes care of my mom. My mom doesn't pump her gas. She doesn't do anything around the house to fix things up. My dad takes care of that. My dad always asks, me, even as an adult, he'll call it and he'll say, Sharifah, you have enough money? And I'm his daughter. I never in my life have had enough money to where I'm like, no, Dad, I got enough. You know what I mean? And so if my dad comes, he lights the pilot for my heater. He takes care of anything that I need around the house. So if a man isn't like that, I'm like, I'm not dealing with him.
Well, this is what I'm saying. See, my dad ruined it for any man that I've ever dealt with, and it was like I said, it was looking for someone like him in all the wrong places and marrying musicians and this person and that person. It became a farce. It was just, I was just doing it. And then I married one of my husbands on a dare. He was a twin. His his twin's girlfriend said, I had 3 children at the time. His twins his twin's girlfriend says, I called them out um to come out and we all had a little dinner and stuff together. So I told the girls, I told his brother's wife, I said, I want you to come back and because we're gonna go looking for bridesmaid dresses. So she says, he's not gonna marry you. You have too many kids. I had 3 at the time. You have too many kids. Uh okay. Now if I didn't want to marry him, because I had really thought about calling off the wedding, but that just gave me fuel my fire to go on and marry him just to prove a point. And I had to make her close her mouth the whole ceremony because she just could not believe that she had been with his brother for 10 years and the brother hadn't asked her to marry him yet. So hey, I did it to prove a point. So that's
Queen. We're going to make sure we put some kind of disclaimer that you must be a grown person, a grown ass woman to watch this show because some of the things we learn. Now, we are coming down to the last few minutes. I want to make sure I get in some more questions. Arnessa Tracy Moore says, I know the Diva Glammas are, as they say, doing them. But I also saw somewhere that the divas participate in giving back to the community in support of women. What inspires the Diva Glammas to be involved in this type of cause?
Well, again, for one thing, like I said, we as women, we're always low on the totem pole and we don't get enough support. So Liz and I have given away book bags for kids, whose parents, couldn't buy them book bags, and back to school and work clothes, we've contributed to that. So, we again, because we know as women and mothers how hard it's been, for us in certain instances. So we just want to make sure that everybody else is taken care of as much as we possibly can. Like I said, I know what it is to be rich and poor. I don't like being poor, but I mean, hey, but I give what I can and I do what I can. But see, when you have 20 grands and 13 great grands, and everybody needs $50 here, $100 here, you know, it gets costly. So I always take care of home as much as I possibly can, and then I have enough to go around for the other ladies.
Absolutely. So Carla Short says, Diva Glammas are so full of love and do help others. She says, I have the honor to know them. May they always be blessed.
Oh, thank you, Carla. Thank you, Carla, Phyllis, Nessa, all of those, they're my godchildren and homegirls. And I really appreciate everybody. My thing is, you have to be a friend to have a friend. And all those ladies that, they're in my life, and everybody plays a role. And I'm very thankful and blessed.
Absolutely. Now, again, we have a couple of minutes on the show. So if anyone has a question or a comment, please feel free to get it in now. I've also been monopolizing the entire show. I've been doing so much talking, asking so many questions. Belinda, you with us?
Yes.
I just wondered, you have questions for us? You good?
I'm just so super good. I've just been sitting here listening, and I'm super excited about bringing the Diva Glammas back, and so that all these grandmas and young people, and it's not just for grandmas, it's for young people too, to see how you're supposed to act as you get older in life. You know what I'm saying? So I really thank the ladies for allowing us to do this for them. And I thank Queen for letting me have access, and all the ladies for coming to, Busy Girl Productions. We are here to shoot them a good show.
Oh,
Thank you.
Belinda, thank you so much, Belinda. Belinda's one of the sweetest people I've met. She has really been a great supporter of the Diva Glammas for a long time, and I greatly appreciate everything that she has done for us. I really do, Belinda. You are a godsend, and Sharifah, you're next in line.
Oh, thank you. I'm number 2 on the
Thank
godsend
you.
list.
Yeah.
That's still a compliment. So, Queen, what I love to do at the end of every show is just simply allow my guests the opportunity to speak directly to the audience, to everyone who is watching the show live, as well as everyone who is watching it in the archives, and simply let them know what you want them to take away from your appearance here today.
Well, I thank everyone who tuned in, and like I said, it's a little more raw on the show, but I'm trying to keep my composure tonight. So, but yeah, I want all the women out there, and I put it like this: I want all the divas and the divos, who are the men, and the glammas and the glampas out there. I want everybody to know that life does not end after 50, and you keep on doing it till you get it right, and put God first, and everything else will follow. And just know that, hey, the Diva Glammas gonna bring it to you, and we coming with the gusto.
Absolutely, absolutely. I am so grateful to have you here to have this conversation. I want to thank you for being here with us tonight. I want to thank Belinda for joining us, and I especially want to thank everyone who tuned in to watch us here tonight. We definitely appreciate your support, but please don't just watch the show. Please go ahead and share the show, and also go ahead and share the premiere video of Diva Glammas with your friends. It is in the Facebook post, so check it out on YouTube. Share it with your friends. Yes, ma'am.
I want to give a shout out to my dad, Posey Turner Sr., and my stepmom, Thomasine. They have been my great supporters, and all my siblings. I want to give a shout out to my grandchildren, my great grands, and my least, I should say. So I know that I love you, and you all know who you are, and all my cousins in the South, and my cousins here in town. Thank you all so much for helping me and keeping my dream alive.
Yes. Thank you to everyone. Have a blessed evening. And remember, check out Diva Glammas. Bye for now.